GOAT today about to be reacting to when words finally have consequences. I saw Aiden Ross on the thumbnail. He's probably talking about the Doechii stuff, whatever the girl name is, but let's see what he's talking about, bro.
Now, most of us still remember what things used to look like on a playground. There was always that bully, the big loud one, who would ridicule someone weaker by pushing them around and embarrassing them. And most of the time nothing happened until one day it did. Until the bully finally met their judgment day and got a cold dose of reality to the face. Now that era in a lot of ways is gone. Things are different now. We live in a time where these devices have become an outlet for that same bully behavior. Except now it's separated from real world ramifications. Everyone has access to the same voice, speaking into the same microphone, to the same audience. But that voice isn't tested in the same way. There's no immediate pushback. Nothing you have to answer to in the moment. The words go out fast, but their impact has a way of boomeranging back. And that return is exactly what we're watching play out right now. If you've been on the internet...
when I was in elementary school, I went to Brown Street Academy. I think that's when like the internet was really starting to pop off. And it's like we had classes on cyberbullying, how you can go to jail for cyberbullying, people off themselves for cyberbullying, people start hating themselves for cyberbullying, and then like I feel like that really left a scar on me. But now these days, it's so much hate in the comments, like they didn't get the cyberbully class, like they missed the program. But it's interesting
last
concept.
Few days, you might have seen something about the Aiden Ross and Doechii situation. Specifically, some of the things Ross said about the rapper and singer Doechii. Now, for anyone who doesn't know who Aiden Ross is, he's a 25-year-old streamer who rose to prominence during the pandemic. A lot of his early traction came through his connection to Bronny James, the son of LeBron James, who appeared on his streams multiple times early on. From there, Aiden quickly became one of the most recognizable young streamers on the internet, building a massive audience and a huge amount of influence. His content style has always been raw and unfiltered, very fast delivery, and a willingness to say things most people wouldn't say publicly. Over time, that energy was reinforced by the circles he began moving in, spending time around figures like Andrew Tate. At the same time, Aiden Ross's audience is largely made up of young men, many of them still forming their sense of identity and mistaking performance for confidence. On the other side of this, we have Doechii, a Grammy-winning rapper and singer, whose rise has been one of the biggest stories in hip-hop and music over the last year. Now, a recent sequence of events between Aiden Ross and Doechii connected two very...
What song did she get a Grammy for? I don't know.
Different corners of the internet, and it started a conversation about what happens when you actually have to answer for the things you say online.
Hey y'all, let me get an ad block when I get monetized. Don't worry about it. Just stay down with it until we come up, bro. Don't worry about it, y'all.
Now this began with repeated hostile messaging directed at Doechii by Aiden Ross last year, and it quickly escalated into something much larger, not because of a single comment, but because of the pattern behind it. And it wasn't just random internet backlash. A lot of the pushback came from inside the culture.
And to the young black men in the streaming world, I'm disappointed in y'all, and y'all need to do better, because the fact that none of y'all didn't have nothing to say about somebody that looked like this, speaking to a black woman this way, when you came from a black woman, I pray that I don't see none of y'all streaming with nobody like.
I mean, but it's like, I don't like how people always bring race into things. It's definitely a factor, but it's like, for the people that he's talking about, he put those people on. So it'll basically be like biting the hand that feeds you in a way. It might sound messed up, like I'm not silencing for nobody. I'm standing on my morals. But when a nigga literally put you on, it's like, I don't know. I mean, I would have been in a position. I know I would have been in a position. I'm gonna put myself on. But it get tricky right there. It get real turbulent right there. It get real turbulent.
Let's rewind to May of 2025. Some of you might remember that viral moment involving Doechii.
So this is why he mad at her.
Gala spread online.
See, I saw a video. I reacted to a video about Aiden Ross being mad at her, but I never really understood like what she did to him. Did she fuck his dad or something? Like, I'm confusing, bro.
Criticized for the way she spoke to staff while preparing to walk the carpet. That part of the story isn't the focus here. What matters is the reactions that came after the fact. Doechii was hit with a wave of criticism across social media, and one of the people who decided to blast her was streamer Aiden Ross. During a live stream reacting to the clip, Aiden Ross went far beyond criticism, shifting from commentary into repeated personal attacks. And to be clear, criticizing someone's art, their music, or their work, that's fair game. No issues there, right?
Yeah.
That's what comes with being a public figure. But this wasn't about the music. The language he used was targeted
Yeah, nah.
and honestly
We all
dehumanizing. Don't
remember
get me
that, bro. We all remember that, bro. This like, I really don't. I really hate that beat. I don't like that beat. I really just. I'm trying to clean up my cussing. You feel me? But
on that industry plant, Aiden said. And then he made some comments about her being an entitled, unintelligent piece of.
that's crazy, bro. For what though?
Now, this was
Because
back
she
in
was
May
talking to
of
her stuff type of way.
2025, and
It
things
happens every
escalated
day.
right
Get
before the
over
new
it.
year when Doechii dropped a song featuring singer SZA. And on that record, she appeared to respond to the industry plant narrative, seemingly aimed at Aiden Ross. But just to be clear, she never name dropped him directly, but the references were pointing towards a few things connected to Aiden Ross, calling out blog chatter, live stream discourse, and people who built relevance through proximity to rappers rather than contribution to the culture itself. Specifically, there was a line about somebody sucking every rap ninja's penis from the back. Now, for anyone who doesn't
That's
know, a major
crazy.
part of Aiden Ross's
That's
rise came
crazy.
through live streams with rappers.
That's crazy. But hey, bro, that's real wanted. You attacked her. She attacked you in a kind of subliminal, less complimentary way. But you
Specifically,
started this,
that's
my
why
guy.
he's so
Let's
hip-hop
let's remember
adjacent.
that.
Those appearances were the backbone of his early visibility and growth. So seeing things through that lens, what Doechii said wasn't random. It flipped the entire industry plant accusation back onto who was actually benefiting from hip-hop culture, or rather sucking dick from the back, like Doechii said, right? After the
Basically,
song dropped, Aiden Ross went on another live stream tirade, going right back to the same pattern of insults, only this time it was even more disrespectful. And once again, the language he used quickly turned into a string of personal and dehumanizing and demeaning attacks, not about her music, but about her as a person. Among some of the things he said were phrases like a dumb, fat, bitch, a botted
that's
effing
foul. You talking to a lady
bitch,
like that?
meaning he was implying she faked her music streams and her success with the use of bots. And he also called her a smelly WH.
Yeah, that's bogus. You shouldn't. Hey, yo, let me get an ad block when I get monetized, bro. Don't worry about it, bro. We gonna stay down till you come up. But it's like, me personally, I feel like you should talk to no woman in this regard, no matter how bogus she do you, no matter what she did to you, no matter how she treats you. As a man, you nod your head for sure. Keep going. I ain't saying be a bitch or nothing, but it's like, it's certain shit that you don't feed into as a man. Cause if you end up going back and forth or bickering back and forth with the woman, now you looking like a bitch. You a bitch arguing with a bitch. I'm not calling her a bitch, but you get what I'm saying, bro. Come on.
ORE.
Don't act like you
Now,
don't.
clearly, this was
For
meant
the
to
men out
humiliate
there,
this woman,
women understand
to
it as
demean
well.
her, to strip away
It's real
legitimacy
unmanly
rather
for
than
you to sit there and
challenge
argue with a
ideas.
woman. Come
And
on
here's
now.
the thing, right? When someone goes that hard on another person, you got to keep in mind, it's not really about that other person. That type of language usually says more about what's happening inside the person projecting the words than it does about who they're aiming it at. Also, it's important to note that Doechii never mentioned Aiden Ross by name before any of this. Not in a song,
That's what I'm
not
saying.
publicly, not anywhere. So I don't really understand why you'd speak about someone you don't even know like this, let alone another woman as a man. It just doesn't really make any sense, right?
doesn't at
It's one
all.
thing to criticize someone's art, that's obviously fair game, but calling a woman an unintelligent piece of shit on your platform where millions of people follow you when you've never even met her, it's OD. Now this is when the men
Overly
inside
crazy,
the
if you
culture
ask me, man.
started speaking up. And one of those men was Joe Budden. But more importantly, we have a Los Angeles rapper, Glasses Malone, who spoke up. He's a
He a
close affiliate
rapper? I
of
didn't know
Top
he was
Dog
a rapper.
Entertainment, the label behind Kendrick
Thought it was a
Lamar, which
podcast.
Doechii currently is signed to. And Glasses Malone made something very clear.
His name Glasses. I'm assuming his thing is he always got on glasses. Gotcha.
He said that this kind of disrespect doesn't exist in a vacuum and that Aiden Ross was entering territory he can't go back from. In other words, walk around and you will find out.
You keep calling her names, bro. I swear to God on Olivia, bro. It's going to come to
I
a place
seen
where
this, by the way.
that's
I seen this. But if y'all didn't see it, we gonna watch it again. I seen this with DJ Academics. I seen most of this or some of this. From this going forward, I seen some of this.
it's permanent. Stop playing with that lady name. Don't call her out her name. Don't be doing all that because you're going to fuck around and you finna say the wrong thing and it's going to be a problem.
Now this is where the energy starts to shift. There's always a
Yeah,
moment
keep
in
my
every
mouth shut,
story
bro.
when the words you say stop being just words and you actually have to be accountable for them. Because after the
Real.
pushback from inside the hip hop culture, you can hear the tone change. On a live stream with DJ Academics, Aiden Ross got unusually
See, this where I
candid
saw
about
that.
his safety. He starts talking about the threats he says he's been receiving as a result of what he said about Doechii, and explained that he's contacted law enforcement about the situation.
And now when people want to threaten my life and stuff, I really wish they would, bro. I walk around 4 security guards. I'm about to upgrade to Mossad at this point with police. I really wish somebody's head would get one tapped. I've had threats online.
Now you want to play victim. See, this why I can't get it. I don't mess with stuff like this. There you go. I'm trying to not say that for it. But it's like, bro, you attacked her first, and it's a woman. Now you're crying about the consequences to your actions. Let's be real, bro. Something ain't adding up here.
I see them. I'm allowed to have my security take action to defend me. So
Now
if
you
you
need your
threaten me
security to take
online
action to
in a
save you.
vivid threat,
Come on, bro.
saying you're gonna kill me or you're gonna do this to me or you're gonna get me beat up, that's a threat. And I've already contacted police about that.
Aiden describes moving with heavy security and references police involvement. He makes it clear that any online threats are being taken seriously, treated as real-world possibilities,
As they
not just
should.
internet chatter. And this is the moment when the intangible
Bro, you beefing with Crips. Yes, they should be taken. Like, bro, you beefing with Crips over for no reason, basically no reason. For disrespecting a black queen, a black goddess, you're beefing with Crips. Now your life is at danger. You have yourself to blame for that, bro. Come on.
posts,
You're not the victim here.
streams, content start meeting reality. Because once the conversation shifts to security, to police, to real-world protection, we're no longer talking about online bravado, we're talking about consequences. In human history, words have always had an immediate cost.
Yeah,
if
for
you
sure.
said something out of line, you had to answer for it. You had to deal with the reaction right there. And that pressure
sure.
shaped how we learned to move socially. There was always a price to what you said. And in the best way possible, that kept excuse my French, that
See,
kept
I'm
people
trying
in
to-
check.
we on the same
Then the
time,
internet
man.
changed that. Suddenly you could say anything from a distance. No eye contact, no one standing in front of you. We've gotten used to a reality where words are now separated from
Yeah.
consequences.
That's that
Where you could say
cyberbullying.
something on the internet and feel like it disappeared into a screen. But
If I
that
didn't, if I'm not mistaken, ain't cyberbullying a crime? Fact check that for me, bro. If anybody,
the
if
internet,
y'all made
believe
this
it or
far,
not,
fact check,
is
fact check
gone.
that for me.
What you say online, despite
I
what a
think
lot of people may
cyberbullying is
think,
a crime.
flows into the real world. It moves, it reaches people, and eventually it comes back with weight attached to it. That's what the story is really about. When money and influence enter the picture, power does something to people. Because when it lands in the hands of someone who once felt powerless, it doesn't actually make them more powerful, but it does change what they think they can say and do. It creates an internal balance where attention and money now make up for what they used to lack. That's their new equilibrium. However, unlike
Yeah,
the
money
kid who
is
thinks
power,
nobody
though.
can touch
Let's
him
not
on the
get it-
playground,
let's not get it
who eventually has to answer for what he does. Online, that moment of accountability can take a lot longer, but that time always eventually comes. And that's where Aiden Ross comes into the picture. The difference now is insulation. I remember something my dad once told me. He said, never run your mouth more than your body can handle. Meaning, don't let your mouth start a race your ass can't finish. And
Facts. It's like, I feel like a lot of people struggle with that today. It's like, how I see it, the loudest in the room is the weakest in the room. That's the person you don't have to worry about. You know what I'm saying? There is nothing going to pop off. They're just loud. You really got to worry about the quiet person in the room. And which person am I? I'll let you figure that out if you ever in a room with me. But right now, don't worry about it. That ain't your business.
story, the installation comes from money and influence, from security, even the protection of law enforcement,
What
which
kind of
creates
security is
a
these,
feeling
bro?
of
If
safety,
you running with the
a sense
finger on
that
the
you
trigger-
can say anything, escalate anything,
That clip
and
was crazy.
still feel untouchable. But history keeps showing the opposite. A real-world example of that is something that happened in the hip-hop world years ago, when rapper Smoke Perp publicly disrespected singer and rapper Russ online, even going as far as using Russ's sister as his Instagram profile picture as a way to mock him.
Nah.
Now, sometime later after that,
If you
Smoke
got your behind beat, that was well wanted. That was well. You had it coming for yourself, bro. You set yourself up.
would
for that.
eventually have a meeting
Congratulations.
with what we call the FAFO Association. That energy he put out online
FAFO.
followed him all the way across the pond to Deutschland.
What does that mean? FAFO. What?
Have a meeting with what we call the FAFO association. That energy he put out online followed him all the way across the pond to Deutschland, Germany, and Russ's goons gave him a pair of beats. No Dr. Dre.
They beat his.
This
No,
is
they
cocoa
funny, bro.
Culver style.
They funny, bro.
Creamy
They ain't no way.
vanilla,
That's
fresh
not
frozen
funny because
custard
it's serious,
blended
but
with
bro.
rich cocoa. Top
That's so. Watch your mouth, boy.
When something that started online ends up following someone across the Atlantic Ocean, you start realizing what's really on the line. Not reputation, not clout, but peace. There are a lot of people in this online space who prayed for influence. They prayed for attention. They prayed to be seen. And when they finally got it, it didn't give them the life they imagined. It gave them something that requires constant maintenance, and not the good kind. We're talking constant noise, constant reaction, constant escalation, a version of themselves they can't turn off, even if they wanted to. And this is why I always say that peace is the most expensive commodity in this digital age. Because although that attention will pay you, it comes with a heavy tax burden. It taxes your peace. It taxes your...
It all depends on how you carry yourself, though. It's like if you're a true, genuine, kind-hearted person, you know, pretty much be yourself. You don't really got to worry about nothing like that. But it's like if you're constantly in different dramas, cultivating different people, trying to stir the pot, now you have a problem. Look at this, for example. Look at Fly Reacts and look at Aiden Ross. Fly Reacts stays in the house. You know what I'm saying? Aiden Ross, he's always in beef. How many problems have Flight really came across versus Aiden? It's all about how you project yourself. And if Charleston like struggling with this right now because he just quit Say Cheese for whatever reason. But what I was about to say, if you project yourself away and that's not really who you are, and now you feel like you have to keep up this lifestyle and this personality, that's your fault. You put yourself in that position. So don't blame nobody else. Facts.
Sense of safety. It taxes your freedom. And freedom is the first thing you don't realize you've lost until it's already gone. I really want to use this particular moment right here to share a message, which is a cautionary tale, especially for a lot of the young people trying to come up on social media right now. One of the biggest illusions of the internet is that it feels consequence free. Like you can say anything, you can do anything, right?
I don't know who
there's
told
a lot
y'all
of people
that, bro.
who get away with saying the worst
They need to teach cyberbullying in school like they did in elementary. That's why I don't do that.
I'm sure you can think about some of those people, right?
Actually
They get eyeballs, they get views, they get money, they get clout, they get insulated, or so they think. Because insulation is not immunity. Sooner or later, the energy you put out online has to get answered in real life. One thing I always say is that you never want to become a hostage to your own success. In this generation, we're watching more and more people get rewarded for building platforms where they're acting out, provoking people, and harassing innocent people, just trying to live their lives and stay out the way. Whether it's pranksters, chasing reactions, or clout-hungry personalities, saying things just to stay relevant. Because once you build your name on making people's lives hard...
This guy is crazy. But no, bro. Play stupid games, get stupid prizes. Prime example right here. Come on now.
For no reason, you don't run the game anymore. The game runs you.
If you out here
at that
robbing
point,
people, why are you trying to make your face so known?
The
Idiot,
instigator isn't really in control anymore. They're responding to the audience, almost like a puppet. Not because they're powerful, but because that's what keeps the lights on. I remember years ago, rapper Denzel Curry dropped this music video called Clout Cobain, where it explored what happens when clout becomes a cage, when attention turns into pressure, and success starts feeling like something you can't step away from. The saddest part is that a lot of people don't actually want to get out, because as ugly as it looks, it does pay. There's a reason why it often feels like the loudest public figures, the ones who thrive off chaos, aren't the most grounded people. Part of it is the algorithm, but part of it is us, what we reward, what we react to, what we keep watching. And in this story with Aiden Ross-Doechii, we see how the internet can create some distance between someone and the words they say online. But in the end, nobody is invincible. Nobody is above consequences.
True.
Even if you never get caught in real life, something still gets taken from you. Sometimes the price is caution. It's looking over your shoulder more than you used to. It's moving through the world a little differently because you know what you put out there.
His bag with this script right here, ain't he, y'all?
The part people
should have went to Harvard.
Talk about. Not every consequence is visible. Some of them you just have to learn how to live with. But
True.
What do I know? If you made it this far, drop a like on this video. Clearly,
He's not lying, not one bit. W script, W storyteller, W writer. You know what I'm saying? I said what I said pretty much. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. Y'all agree that stupid games get stupid prizes, or y'all just think like, oh, I can say whatever I want on the internet. There's nothing gonna happen to me because the internet is so wide and it's only online. Nobody's gonna touch me. That's a crazy mindset to live with. But let me know what y'all think, and I'm gonna catch you niggas in the next one. Yes, sir.